I was rushed to the hospital for delivery. I was quickly taken to the delivery ward and placed on the bed. And the doctor explained to me that there were complications. There was actually a whole lot of complications. And the doctor did tell me that he was going to have to conduct a surgery so that he can take the baby out to save me and my child. My husband and my mother-in-law were in the hallway, and the doctor invited them into the room to tell them this news. To my greatest surprise, my mother-in-law said, "Doctor, please do everything you can to save my grandchild. He is my first grandchild, and my son is the only child I've got." I was in shock. I'm like, what is she talking about? And just before I can even shut my mouth, my husband repeated the exact same thing his mother said. He said, "Doctor, yes, please save my child. I can't do without having my child." I was sad. I didn't know what to do. But then, the glory of God, me and my child are doing very okay. When we were discharged, I went back home, and then I asked my mother-in-law and my husband that what was the meaning of what both of you said in my delivery room. And my mother-in-law, only thing she could say was, "That is bygone. Both of you are fine now, so let's just leave everything to God." And my husband said, "Yes." He's always concurring. "Yes, everything is fine now. Both of you are doing okay, so let's leave it to be that way." I was really upset. I spoke to my mother and my brother about it, and I told them I was going to leave the marriage because I didn't feel safe. Already, my mother-in-law didn't even like me. Even whilst I was operated on to bring forth her precious grandchild, I was still asked to do house chores when I went back home because my mother and my brother are not in the same country with me. Now, fast forward, after my mother and my brother persuaded me to stay back in the marriage, that everything will be fine, my mother-in-law became sick. This was over 2 years after my delivery incident. She was placed in the hospital and needed urgent replacement of some organs. And my husband asked me to lend him some money. 5 million naira. This money is supposed to be from my savings I saved up for my children, from my own pockets, from where I work. I saved this money even before I got married to my husband, just because I said I am keeping this money for the future of my children. I didn't even have children then, but I purposely saved that money in the name of my children, whom I didn't have as at then. And the only person who knows about this savings is my husband. He came and asked me to give him 5 million naira to be able to treat his mom in the hospital, and I declined. He was very furious. He shouted and screamed and asked me to give him the money, else I'm going to see the other side of him. And I declined boldly. And he said and that I needed, or I wanted to see his mother by. I told him no, I didn't want to see his mother by, but a good grandmother should be able to sacrifice her life to be able to save the life of her grandchildren, because the money he's asking me for is actually for her own grandchildren. I cannot pause my children's future for their grandmother. He's old enough, he can die. By the way, she's in her 70s. I told him that, and he flared up and asked me to pack my things and leave his house. I called my mother and my brother, and they said they are going to call him and speak with him. Obviously, they called him and spoke with him, and he said everything was fine. And then he said, "Why did I say that?" I'm like, "Okay, remember what you said in the delivery room? Your mother said, and you said the child was your only survival and your only heir. So I could have as well gone to be with the Lord and none of you would care. So since you guys wanted to sacrifice me for the life of my child, your mother, as a grandmother, should be able to sacrifice her own welfare for the future of her grandchildren. Did I do anything wrong?" My husband has refused to eat in the house and has been giving me the silent treatment. I'm already feeling so bad that I said that to him. But what do you think? Should I give him the money or I shouldn't? I'm already feeling somehow. My mother said I could give him the money if I wanted to, and if I ever needed 5 million naira from nowhere, I can ask her and then she will give it to me. Should I give it to him? Did I overreact? Please let me know.